Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. So this is very easy meditation. Why? Because it uses transcendental sound. You don't have to blank your mind. You don't have to be expert in sitting perfectly still and controlling the senses, and on it goes, which are requirements for other types of meditation. And that's why many people think meditation is so difficult. Yes, I tried it and it's too difficult. I can't do it. No, transcendental sound is where the potency is. Descends from the spiritual world. It doesn't come from this material world. It's spiritual by nature. Therefore, it has spiritual potency. So when we contact this sound vibration, automatically we get great spiritual benefit. So that's the only requirement. You contact the sound vibration. And we're equipped with the instruments to make that sound, right? Our vocal cords, our lips, our tongue, our mind to put it all into motion, and hopefully our intelligence to see, wow, this is valuable, I should do this. You see, there's great benefit for this. So if we incorporate the instruments of action that we have, the tools that we've been given by the Supreme Lord in our human form of life to chant transcendental sound, we get great spiritual benefit. It's the easiest meditation there is, and by far the most potent and powerful. See? So we just did it. You can take it home with you. You can do it on your own. Trouble comes into everybody's life. Nobody gets through life without having a lot of trouble, right? So that's just another part of material life. We're always trying to juggle things to make it so that doesn't happen, or we minimize the trouble. Doesn't work. Whatever our karma is, it's going to come anyway. So when the trouble comes, where do we take shelter? What do we do? Do we sit down and worry about it, think about it, try to solve it, through family and friends and psychiatrists or alcohol or drugs or different types of denial or alterations of consciousness? Usually that's what we do. Run away from it somehow or other. Doesn't work. Turn to the mantras. The mantras are transcendental shelter, spiritual shelter, protection. We need to be protected. See. So it's an invaluable tool. It's an invaluable asset to incorporate into your life. Mold your life around this. This is the absolute truth. See. So I hope you will consider this. So before I begin to go further, I would like to offer my respects to my spiritual masters who taught me all these things. See. I didn't know any of this. I wasn't born with this knowledge. I didn't come into this world, oh, yes, I know that. Just like all of us, we came and didn't know anything. You see. But I was fortunate enough to come in contact with my bona fide spiritual masters, Siddha Sarupananda and Bhaktivedanta Swami, and they enlightened me with this knowledge. And the other fortunate part of the formula was I recognized, yes, this is invaluable. I listened and I tried, to incorporate it into my life. You see. So that's the value here. Everybody has to, number one, hear the knowledge, but number two, be receptive and receive it, take it in, appreciate it. So today, I am speaking, as always, I speak from the platform of Bhakti Yoga. All this is knowledge of Bhakti Yoga, if you will, Vedic knowledge, handed down since time immemorable through a line of perfect masters, coming in its pure form. And this is what we need to know, see, because life is a very complicated issue. And we learn in our Vedic teaching that we are life itself. It's not like there's us and then there's life. No, we are life. We are life. Life is spirit. We are spirit. We are tiny spiritual sparks. See, now we're temporarily located in human material bodies, which is a very, very wonderful thing. You know how many people have human bodies? Not very many, in comparison with those who have other bodies. You know what we might do? We might just flip this chair around. You guys come under here, and we'll continue. All right, is everybody ready to continue? See, that woke everybody up. And again, we have to be awake in life if we're going to see what really goes on, right? Om Hari Om. Great. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so, see, when the weather turns bad in your life, just chant. Then everything clears up. If it comes back, chant again. So yeah, that's the thing. We need to have somewhere to go. We need some protection. We need some solution to the problems of life. So it has to be really a spiritual solution, because material solutions are like Band-Aids, on infections that don't get better. We just keep putting Band-Aids on and it doesn't help. But when we don't know anything else, what else are we going to do? So that's where the Vedic knowledge comes in. We learn these secrets of life, really. And if you know the secret, then you can apply the secret and get the amazing result. You see, who we are is not who we think we are. We think we're our material bodies. I just mentioned we're in human bodies, but that doesn't mean that's who we are. These are our temporary vehicles, our temporary apartments we live in right now. See? And we haven't been in them very long, and we're not going to stay in them very long, because everything in the material world is very temporary. You see? So we come in and we come under some illusory, conception. I am this body, and we have our name and our nationality and our, whatever. All the parts of our identity, you see. But it's not who we are. We're spirit souls. We are the living personalities in the body. So that's what happens at death. We, that living personality, leave the body. Death is so tragic to many people's understanding. It's not tragic. It's just a continuation of life. You come in a house, you live for a little while, and you leave. Is that a tragedy? You go to a hotel room, When you go to a hotel room, you understand, I'm checking in for the night. So you don't try to remodel it. You don't try to just stay there forever. You okay. Tomorrow you leave. You got somewhere else to go. And it's no big deal. You understand, when you come in, this is a temporary stopover, and then you just leave. So when we come into these bodies with knowledge, you see, we understand it's a temporary stopover. So you do what you need to do while you're there, and then you move on. See? And to know what you need to do while we're in this body, we need to have proper authoritative guidance, and the Vedic scriptures and the spiritual masters who disseminate this perfect knowledge tell us what to do. That is the authority that we need, you see. And if we don't have this knowledge, we're just lost completely in life. We don't have any idea where to go, what to do, even what life is. Who knows what life is? See, very, very few people. It's just, I don't know. People say, get a life. You ever heard that saying? Hey, man, get a life. What do they mean? Get something to do with your life, like, What are you doing? All you're doing is sitting around arguing and being a bummer. Get a life. That means get some enjoyment in your life. Have a reason to live. Have a reason to get up in the morning. Know why you're getting up. You see? Know what life is, what it's for. You know, these are knowledge, truths. Knowledge. This is knowledge that we need. So, what we're supposed to talk about today, as is on the poster, is love and relationships. Now, what is more complicated than that? You've never seen complications till you get involved in that subject. You know, like, oh my God, you know. But, you know what? There's no avoiding that issue. You can't avoid it. See? Relationships are part of life. It's a part of who we are. We're spirit souls, eternal spirit souls. We are not temporary. We are eternal. Life does not end. See, we didn't take birth. It says in Bhagavad Gita, one of our main Vedic scriptures, for the soul, ourself, there's neither birth nor death. That's part of the illusion. I was born. We aren't born. We entered a body at a certain time. October 5th, 19 whatever, you know. And there's be a time when we leave the body, and they call that's death. See? For the soul is neither birth nor death. We enter, we leave. We're the same person, and life goes on. See? So, another part of life which is inevitable is relationships. We have relationships of all descriptions, see. We have a relationship with the weather, don't we? We just were shown that fact in case you're a skeptic. I don't have no relationship with weather. We have a definite relationship with weather. And what? That relationship affects us. The weather just affected us. We were out there, now we're in here. We were too hot, now we're too cold. In minutes, you see. I was dry, now I'm wet. That's relationships with the weather. All these relationships affect us. We can have relationships with material objects, you know, a relationship with your car, a relationship with your house, and with your job, and with whatever, your money. Bad relationship with the money. Got none. My money left me. Divorced me somewhere along the way. But it's still a relationship, and you're looking for another one. See, that's reality of life. But we know the real strong relationships are personal relationships, right? With other people, living entities. And we all have them. Like, you can't even come into a material body without a relationship with a mother and a father. It's just how it is. See? Everybody's got a relationship with their mother and with their father. There's all kinds of variables involved. It might be very distant. Maybe you never even knew, say, for instance, your father. Maybe he died before you were born, or he left before you were born, or he just wasn't around. He just came and went too quick. But you still have that relationship. It's not functional, but it's still there. You see, or it might be very close and very warm and very nourishing. See, one produces pain, one produces, you know, almost you could say indescribable happiness. Relationships can make us so happy, and they can destroy our life. Both. See, and accompanying relationships are what? Love, or so-called love. That comes with the package, you know. And we as spirit souls, number one, have an inherent desire to have a perfect relationship. See? The most lonely people, let's just say the most disturbed people, are those who have no relationship. They're lonely. They're empty inside because of the lack of a relationship. You know, they've got money, maybe they've got fame, they've got all kinds of material assets, you see, beyond, even their ability to use them. But if they don't have any loving relationship, meaningful relationship in their life, what do they have? Basically nothing. They got nothing. Life is basically zero. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's the nature of the soul to be nourished by a loving relationship. And if we're not, then we're not nourished. And when you're not nourished, you're empty. See, you're starving to death. And the world today is more and more in this condition, unfortunately. See, we have all kinds of relationships, but they're pseudo, they're false, they're shallow. They're not really based on love. And we don't even understand that because love is such an unknown subject, just like life itself, that we don't even recognize the difference between love and its fake counterpart, lust. What masquerades as love is not. It's lust. And that's why it causes so much pain. That's why it causes so much suffering. See, there's nothing more destructive in the world than lust. That's stated by Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. See, he describes lust as the all-devouring, sinful enemy of the world. This is the Supreme Lord himself. He knows, if somebody knows, he knows. He is the absolute authority of all authorities. I know in the world today, it's not popular to accept authorities, I remember in the hippie generation, the 60s and 70s, there was a popular saying, it even appeared on cars, on bumper stickers, question authority. Like authority's bad. No, there is authority, whether we like it or not. Because we like to be the authority, we don't want there to be any authority but us. See, I'm the authority. But what does it get us? It gets us in trouble. It makes it so our life is so disturbed that we can't even find a semblance of happiness. See? The Vedas teach us what we should know. They don't teach us what we like to hear necessarily. They teach us what we should know. Just like the good mom, she used to teach us what we needed to know, not what we wanted to hear. Mom, I don't want to hear that. But, in many cases, this is on a material level, of course, and in most cases. But many times that was really what I needed to know. Okay. So, what masquerades as love is not. And that is the problem. We, the spirit soul, need love. It's part of our nature. It's our birthright. It's born within us. You will never transcend love. There's no such thing because it's part of who we are, you see. But it can become contaminated and therefore it manifests as lust. And so, let's look on a very deep level here. You got to pay attention because this is deep stuff. I can't explain deep subjects in light ways. It just doesn't work. We have to go deeper. So, back to the original point. We're spirit soul. We're part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. There is a Supreme Soul. Believe it, don't believe it, doesn't change anything. We are the children of the Supreme Person. We all came from the same Father. We're all brothers and sisters on the spiritual level. We're related. Relationships, you got it? Back to the idea. We're all related. We think we're related to this person because he's my brother. We have the same common father or whatever. We do, but it's on the spiritual level, the eternal Father of all living entities. You see, so that's the common factor in our lives. Now, the Supreme Lord is the source of love. We have all the qualities of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, we have that quality of love too. But we are a minute part and parcel. So whatever qualities we have, same in quality, but a minute quantity. The next relationship with the airplane. So, therefore, instilled in us is this loving relationship. Okay. But we separate ourselves from the Supreme Lord, come into the material world, and try to live a life of fulfillment and happiness and satisfaction void of this relationship. And we try to substitute that eternal, pure relationship with all these temporary relationships of the world. Hoping and actually feeling like it will make me truly happy and truly satisfied. But it doesn't. And we're disappointed again and again and again. See? Now there's always the person who likes to argue. So he will say, no. I've been married to this woman for 70 years. We have a wonderful, loving relationship. This relationship has fulfilled me so much throughout my entire life. See? So I don't agree with you. All right, but will you agree with me that this relationship is soon to end? Because you're going to leave your body, or she's going to leave her body. You're going to go one way, she's going to go another way. Is that going to end that relationship? Is that going to cause you pain? Is that going to cause you suffering? You see? And of course, the person will have to admit, yes, it is true, and yes, it will. In fact, when a couple, I don't know now, things have changed so much, I'm not sure. But it used to be when a couple got married, they took some vows, and they said, I will love you, I will protect you, I will stand by you, I will serve you until death do us part. It's built into the formula, right? I mean, everybody agrees to that. You know, of course, they probably don't say it anymore because that's too long, man. Until death. Are you kidding me? You think I'm going to hang around that long? You know, maybe until the money runs out, or I find somebody better, or you know, I lick the red off the candy, or you know, however we look at it. You know. But anyway, the point's the same. It's temporary. No matter how good it is, it's temporary. And when the parting comes, the pain is unbearable. There is no pain in the material world like the death or loss of a loved one. Mm-hmm. It's the deepest because it's heartfelt. You see. But again, it's not complete. It's not temporary. I mean, it's not eternal. It's temporary. And it's not fully satisfying. Mm. But the fact that we know we need this and we want this and we pursue this and we hope for this and we dream about this, you know, and we go to movies like the Titanic because it just goes, oh, it's so wonderful, the loving affair. You think people saw the Titanic 15 times because of the ship sinking? But people saw it 15, 20 times because of the love affair that was involved. It was so tender. It was so sweet. You see, and they emulate, they could relate, they could hope, they could, oh, I got to go back and see it again because I ain't got it at home. You see? You know, the movies. But the point I was going to make is, if I can want it so much, and if I really feel the need for it, it must exist somewhere. It must exist somewhere. And it does. It does. There is a perfect person. See? There is a perfect person, and this perfect person is waiting for us. See, I don't have to, wonder, oh, will he like me? You think she'll like me? Ooh, I don't look so good, or maybe they won't. Or maybe they'll quit liking me. They like me today, but will they love me tomorrow? See? I don't have to worry about all those, none of those anxieties. Am I going to get old and then they go run away? See? No. They already, not they, he already loves us. That's already there. The perfect person already loves me perfectly. See, all I got to do is reciprocate and love the Supreme Person, and the whole thing is as it should be. Now my life has real meaning. Now I'm back where I always wanted to be. I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Part of those relationships are protection, right? Physical, mental protection, see? That's what a relationship involves, right? I'm protected by the love. Mm-hmm. That's already there, full protection. Not somebody that can't really protect us, but somebody who can and does protect us. Everything that we could dream of is already available, but we're so covered and so misdirected in what we do with our life that we don't even want to know these things in most cases. You start talking about these truths and people get offended almost. I have people leave lectures when I start talking about God. They run away. Like, hey, where are you going? And they run faster. You see? Yeah, it's true. Because we're so contaminated. We're so far away from the truth. We're so far away from real life. We're covered by lust. Let's explain what lust really is. So here we are. We're a living entity, eternal spirit soul, and love is part of our life. Okay? We come into the material world by our desire to not be in our relationship with the Supreme Lord, but to be the Lord. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the master. I want to be the controller. You see, we have these tendencies because the God, Lord is already there. That's who he is. The master, the controller, the enjoyer, and so on. We have all those qualities, and so we try to emulate that. See, I want to be that. Well, in the spiritual world, which is the perfect world, there is no facility for me to fulfill this fantasy. I'm God. But it's our desire. See, it's contaminated desire. So the Lord creates the material world for us to come and try to fulfill this fantasy. That's what the material world is. See, it's a playground for the foolish kids who want to just be the Lord and rule and control and master. See? So here we are in the material world. Now, when I come into the material world as a spirit soul, I am covered by different layers of material energy. And that's described all in the Vedic scriptures. It starts from the most subtle layer, and then it moves outward to more and more and more gross layers. Okay? So, the spirit soul, the eternal servant of God, that's who we are by nature. Can't change that. But we don't want to be in that position, so when we come into the material world, we become covered by a layer of illusion called false ego. False ego. Note the word false. Ego means I. I hear people that have been to, some yoga, whatever, classes, lectures, read some books, been to some internet sites, whatever, influenced by the modern yoga philosophy. They always talk about their ego. Oh, I have such a big ego. I'm working on my ego. I must get rid of my ego, I say, can't do it. Because ego is who you are. You are yourself. Ego means I. You are your ego. That's not the problem. The problem is your false ego, the false I, the illusory I, thinking I am. And then whatever follows that, I am this material body. See, the body is made of different layers, subtle and gross. We have a mental body. It's made of intelligence. False ego, intelligence, and mind. Mind, intelligence, false ego. Look, going from the gross out or from the inside going to the outside. False ego, number 1. The intelligence, number 2. And the mind, number 3. That makes up the mental body. It's called the astral body, for those of you who've read some books, heard some things. The astral body. That's not you. That's material coverings over you, the eternal spirit soul. And then the gross physical body covers the subtle mental body according to the desires and the karma and so on of the mental body. See? And so that physical body is made up of, starting from the outside in, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These material elements make up the gross physical body. That's not us either. See? So all we are is simply, in our material identities, is just these combinations of material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Not us. See? Now, false ego, for me to play the game of I'm the Lord, I'm the body, I'm the enjoyer, this world is my home, and so on, that's the game I want to play. I have to forget who I really am. Because if I'm remembering, I'm conscious of the truth that I'm the eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, I'm the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord, I can't enjoy being God. It doesn't work. You see, when a movie actor plays the role in a movie, what is the best actor? The one who can enter into the role and actually identify complete with that role, right? The more he can be that character, the better he is. And that's the most famous guys. The most famous actors are the ones who can be the character they're playing. They completely forget who they really are. And now they're this guy, you see? So we have to forget I'm the servant of God to try to be the number one guy. Because God's number one. See, that's why we don't like to be confronted with this. See? So here I am covered by the false ego and then everything else after that and all the illusions and the bodies that we get of all types and whatever. So now here's where it all becomes understandable. I have this loving identity. I am a particle of love, really, because I'm part of the Supreme Lord who is love, personified. So when this love radiates through the false ego, it becomes perverted. And on the other side of the false ego is not love, but lust. If I have a white light and this is a red lens and I pass this pure white light through the red lens, what's on this side? Red light, right? The white light has been transformed by the red lens it passed through, and now it's red. But in its original condition, it's not red. So when love passes through the false ego, on this side, it's not love, but lust. What is the difference between love and lust? Love is only caring about, only concerned with the pleasure of the object of love. It's all giving and no taking. All the satisfaction of love comes from seeing the object of love satisfied. And that's your happiness. It's nothing more involved. You don't want anything back. There's nothing like, okay, I loved you and you love me. Now you're supposed to love me. See? Oh, anybody ever heard that? I love you all the time. You never, what I get? I always tell you I love you. You never tell me you love me. Anybody ever heard that kind of stuff? You say, I do everything for you. I give you my life. What do you give me? A hard time. Why? Because it's not love. It's lust. The same force, the same power, the same energy, but in its perverted form. Therefore, instead of nourishing us and fulfilling us and satisfying us and bringing us unlimited happy and joy, see, it brings us pain and suffering and hardship and anxiety and disappointment and emptiness, and on it goes. And the good times are filled with anxiety too, because I know it's going to end. I'm afraid it's going to end too soon, you see. And I don't want it to end. I'm trying to hang on to it with both teeth and both hands, and it gets away. I can't hang on. You see, don't die, don't leave me. I can't hang on. So even the good times are filled with anxiety, much less the bad times. You see? And it's not going to be different than that. That is not, you're not going to somehow make lust satisfy you. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, God Himself, the Creator of everything, has boldly and clearly described lust is the all-devouring enemy of the world. It devours us. Does it not eat us from the inside? See? You know, Jim Morrison and a few other fools that wrote songs that everybody listened to said, come on, baby, light my fire. Burn me up. You see? You know, come on, baby, light my fire. Time to set the night on fire. Yeah. He died of drugs. Didn't help him very much. Burned him up. You see? Because it's stupid. You know? You don't get happy by going to bed with the enemy. You see? The all-devouring, sinful enemy of the world is not your best friend. Believe it or not. What do you do when you know there's a all-devouring, sinful enemy? You protect yourself. You don't embrace the enemy. Oh, I love you. You say, excuse me, but I got somewhere to go. My mom's calling. I got to go home. You know, you tiptoe out of there quietly and just disappear. You see. So these are realities, you know. These are realities. And if we accept that reality, then we can direct our loving propensity where it should be directed, and that is to the Supreme Lord Himself. He's waiting. He's waiting for us. See? He's hoping that we'll come to Him, that we'll wake up, that we'll understand these things. I have a friend. He's a very deep-thinking friend. You know, he's 60-something now, you know. But he still can't understand why the material world is so much filled with suffering. He just can't get it. And I've tried to explain it to him, but he's so entrapped in all the pain and suffering he's seen from his brother dying such a painful death from cancer at a young age, to seeing, you know, so much suffering all around, everywhere you look. I mean, it's not hard to see. And he can't see, if there is a God, why is there so much suffering? See, he's basically, you know, either can't accept there is a God, or if there is a God, he doesn't give a damn. He told me like that. If there is a God, he just doesn't give a damn. See? Because he can see so many people suffering, good people. He sees this is a good woman, or this is a good... He was talking to even about his cow the other day. He's a rancher. You know, kind of unusual profession for a person feeling like this. But he knows it's not good, really. I've had talks about that too, but he was born into it. He's just kind of, I don't know. We don't go there. It's not a, thing about his life. But the point is, he can't see why there's so much suffering. But I can tell you why, if you are in his same shoes and you can't see either. Because the point is, it's designed like that by nature. Krishna arranged it so we will suffer in the material world. He didn't make this material world to come and find a place of enjoyment. He made it so it's a place we can come and try to enjoy. Not we can come here and enjoy. It's a place where we can come and try to enjoy. And that's what we're all doing. But it can't be successful because it's not designed like that. It's unchangeable. You can't change it. You see? My friend, where's Marcelo? He's somewhere anyway. He just was involved in this big prison that was built in Toronto a couple years ago. You guys know about that? It's the biggest prison in Canada, I think. Well, you guys aren't prisoners, so you don't know about it. I'll forgive you for not knowing about this. You see? That's good you don't know. See? But anyway, it's a most modern prison, I think, in Canada, unless they build another one. And he did all the electrical. He was the foreman on all the electrical, and it was so anyway, they built this, new prison, and he took me on a tour before they opened, just before it was going to open. You want to go see the new prison? Yeah, okay. Before it opens, right? Not after it opens. So he took me on a tour, and we went to the place where they bring you in through the gates that open, and the fan drives in, and they close, so you can't never get away. And then the desk where they process you, and here's your wardrobe, and your prison suit, and and then he takes us to the hotel suites. And it didn't look too attractive for me. A toilet sitting out in the open where you just got to do your business in front of everybody watching, There was nothing attractive about that place at all. Nothing, Why? Because it's a prison. It's not supposed to be a place of pleasure. It's a place where you come and you realize, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done what I did. This is not a nice place. I don't like it here. It's designed to wake you up. And the prison system is kind of like, some illusory way to rehabilitate people. All they're doing is learn from the other prisoners how to be better criminals. But, it's supposed to make you understand, no, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be a good law-abiding person and go out and just enjoy, society, normal life. I don't like prisons. Mm-hmm. So the material world is like that. It's a place to like it. So when we come, we break the laws. We come, we experience the difficulties of life, and it wakes us up to, man, there must be a better way to live than this. There must be a place where there is real happiness and satisfaction. There must be relationships that are founded on something higher than what the relationships of this world are founded on. Rather than just trying to enjoy each other, exploit each other, you say, okay, the relationship is business. You're supposed to make me happy. I'm supposed to make you happy. Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love you. You love me. Yeah, okay. And we come together and just try to suck as much as we can from the other person. But how much can we suck? How much does each individual have to give? Not very much. I only got a little spiritual spark of love. They got a little spiritual spark. We're in the desert. You meet two people in the desert. I got a drop of water. You got a drop of water. Yeah, let's get together and exchange drops. Okay, I drink your drop. You drink my drop. I'm still thirsty. So am I. Okay, so what? That hasn't satisfied my problem. So that's the material world. You see, and when we figure this out, well, they don't satisfy me, They were supposed to, but then what is the following sequence after lust? Anger. That's part of Bhagavad Gita teaching too. From lust comes anger. So why is it that so many people in so many supposedly loving relationships are so angry? Because it results in that. It's automatically so. See? From lust comes anger. Hmm? You know what the number one crime in the world today is? The best domestic violence. That's the number one crime. Hmm? It's not robbery, it's not this thing and that thing. It's domestic violence. You say domestic violence, that's violence in the home, right? Yes. In the home where you're supposed to have all this love, isn't that the little love nest? You know, where we all get along and love each other and life is just like, you know, violins and candles. And you go, no. It's not, because people are angry. It was supposed to be like that, but it wasn't. And they're angry about it, you see. Because it's not love. It's lust, anger. And then from anger comes loss of memory, delusion. You know, we do things, we say things, we make stupid actions, you see, that we would never make in a normal state. But when we're angry, it all goes south, you know. And we just have special vocabularies for the ones we love the most. See? Nobody receives these special words. 4 letters or combinations of 4 letters. And we create some new ones. See? We like to say things that hurt the other person the most. See? We know their weak spots and we like to get in there and turn the knife. Is that love? No. See? It's not. It's lust. You see? We do crazy, crazy things. And the whole world, even outside of these intimate relationships, is angry. Because everybody, lust is not just between a man and a woman, you know, or whatever. It's all over. You know, I want something back from what I do. You know, I want to enjoy this and I want to enjoy that. So we're angry because all the things that are supposed to make us happy don't make us happy. The new car, the new house, the better job, the winning the lottery, the fame I got from winning whatever I won. You know, I'm the best athlete. You know, I'm the star. I get paid more than any other football player or hockey star or whatever. And they're not happy either. They're angry too. You know, and so the whole world is at war, you know, with angry things. You know, we want to destroy things, each other, and the planet, and whatever. See, because we're angry, you know. In L.A., there was a shooting spree going on for such a, you know, frequency and such a long time of road rage. You know, you cut in front of somebody a little too close and they just shoot you. So they even printed bumper stickers. I'm sorry, please don't shoot. You know, I'm sorry, man. You know, don't kill me. You know, what kind of society is that? You know, we're looking for answers, but we don't even know the problem. The problem is lack of love for God. I'm cutting right to the chase. Lack of love for God is the problem, and you'll never solve the problem until you reinstill that in your life, in your heart. When you have love for God, you're peaceful, you're satisfied, you're not angry. You understand what's going on. You're not trying to have, you know, a perfect person that's going to satisfy you. No, I don't care who this person is and how good they look or don't look. You know, they can't satisfy me. But we can work together as a partner in spiritual life to both try to as a team, as a partnership of harmony, please the Supreme Lord. See? Yeah, now we got some common spiritual platform. We can have our children and raise them to understand these truths too, and give them the opportunity to realize these things. We don't want to make it think, oh, if you get a good education and you get a good job, you're going to be happy. Because it's not true. So true parents who know the truth don't put these illusions forward. Yeah, if you want to get a good job, you know, it might help your material situation, but as far as your spiritual happiness, which means the happiness of life, it's not there. They tell the kid the truth. You're not the body. This world's not your home. See? They're real parents. They have knowledge. They pass on their love. That's real love. You know, I see parents who supposedly love their kids doing things to their kids that are going to destroy the kid's life. That's not love. It's just false sentiment based on ignorance. When you wake up to the truth, your eyes are open. You see the world as it really is. And you know what to do. You deal with every situation of life in the correct way. You see? And then you skate through life. And you come to the end of life and it's no big deal. It's successful. You've done what you should do. You've helped others do what they should do. Those who are receptive, you've helped them. Those who are not receptive, you've helped them too. And the Supreme Lord is pleased. And according to His words in Bhagavad Gita, you return to the spiritual world. Now, all problems solved. Now, finished. All problems solved. Return to the spiritual world. It's known as the world of Vaikuntha. The Vaikuntha world. Vaikuntha means no anxiety. There's no anxiety in the spiritual world. Material world is nothing but anxiety. Always. From beginning to end. See? From birth until death and in between. It's always filled with anxiety. See? The Vaikuntha world is our real home. That's where we belong. See, if you feel like an alien, good. If you don't feel like an alien, you still are. This world is not our home. See? So that's the teaching of Bhakti Yoga. That's what we should see is important in life. And all these things that we think are so important, they are not that important. Deal with them as they need to be dealt with, but they're not that important. You see. Now, what is the formula for making all this a reality? It's all maybe good philosophy, lofty philosophy, sounds great, but is it achievable? How to do it? You must follow again the supreme authority. See, this Lord and His supreme authorities that represent Him, the spiritual teachers, and His words in the teachings of the scriptures. And what is the simple message of developing love for God, which is the answer to all problems? Chant the names of God. Chant these mantras. We just did. It was so easy, wasn't it? Om Hari Om. See? Or Gauranga. So easy, but so powerful. It can transform love into lust. It can free us of the illusion that I'm this material body. Destroy the false ego. Make it so I'm now just the understanding, realized soul. Nothing about this false ego stuff. See? Destroy the false ego, you destroy the future births. No material bodies. As long as I have a false ego, I will have a material body. When the false illusion is destroyed, and now I'm situated in self-realized pure truth of ego, I am the eternal servant of God. There is no more birth and death. I return to my rightful condition, my original condition in the spiritual world, where what is it described? It's described every word is a song, every step is a dance, and every emotion is love. And that's all. No birth, no disease, no old age, no death, no anxiety, no anger, no fear, no loneliness, no happiness, no depression, and on and on and on. Yeah. There has to be a world like that because we know that's how it's supposed to be. And it is how it's supposed to be. All we have to do is go there. So what we do is waste lifetime after lifetime after lifetime as a human society trying to readjust this world to make it like that. Good luck. It's like the prisoners in Toronto trying to readjust the prison to make it like a 5-star hotel. Club Med. It will not work. The authorities will not allow it. The Supreme Authority has arranged things as they are. We can't change that. All we can do is harmonize. That's the best thing that we can do. We cannot get to a higher level than that. Is harmonizing with the Supreme Lord and His divine plan. following His perfect guidance, we will come to understand the best thing I can do with my life now as a human being, see, on this earth planet, is to chant these holy names of the Supreme Person. Make it a regular part of our life. In the morning when I wake up, I do it. See, this is how we should think. I will do this. I will chant Gauranga. I will chant Om Hari Om. I will chant Maha Mantra, which we're going to do, in a few moments. See, I will do this. I will learn the technique of chanting mantras on beads so I can have an activity that will actually purify me. Not just sit in front of a television and see how many bad things happened. You see, not just drink coffee and eat some donuts and go to another day of work. Like, oh my God, and go home, and sit in front of another session of television or on the internet or whatever we do, and then fall in bed and take pills to go to sleep, and then struggle to get up. That's not life. Come on. And even if we're out enjoying, you see, that's not really life either. See? And it's temporary, and it's shallow, and it doesn't really satisfy the soul. You see? We will realize where real happiness is, real satisfaction is, and we will know that's in hearing and chanting on a regular basis this transcendental sound, these holy names of the Supreme Person. This is what He asks us to do. Why? Because He loves us. See? Why does God ask us to do these things? Because He loves us. Why does the loving mother ask the child to do this? Because she loves the child. That's why. It's done out of love. It's not perfect love, but it's in the category. It's kind of symbolic of perfect love. So does not it make sense that the perfect person will ask us to live a life a certain way because He loves us and does not like to see us suffer, does not like to see us going through again and again and again what we've been going through since time immemorable, but come back home where He's happy, we're happy, everybody's happy. The big family reunion. You see, that's life. And you can begin now, and you can understand these things, and you can experience these things now. You don't have to wait till you die. You can experience right now. You start chanting these mantras, and you experience life, and higher, and better, and more complete. And the problems are still there, but they don't affect you the same. Life is better, and better, and better. And when the difficulties come, you know what to do. You know where to go. You see. Now, you're living. See? So the old guy that said, get a life, you got it. And you go, okay. So these are the ideas. Strong ideas, I know. Very, very, maybe in your face for some people. Not popular, not common, but true. We need to know these things. We need to know these things. See, don't run away, because where are you going to run to? I remember there was a Christian song. Oh, sinner man, where are you going to run to? Oh, sinner man, where are you going to run to? And goes on like that. Run to the rocks. The rocks will be a-melting. Run to the rocks, and so on. Run to the ocean, sea. Sea will be a-boiling. Where are you going to run to? It's all God's world. It's all God's kingdom. Where are you going to run? Run to the Lord. That's where you run. He's waiting. He's saying, run to me. Come. See? The faster, the better. You'll be smiling. See? When you're not happy, it's hard to smile. But when you're happy, you always smile. Okay? And you know what? You look beautiful when you smile.